3 aha moments in my career that shocked me. We all make mistakes, missteps, and have flaws. The first aha was me not believing what I was hearing, and I repeated it back to my boss twice. Here's the backstory. It was 7 a.m., beginning of my day in the hospital unit. The patient call lights were all lit up like a Christmas tree. The priority was answering all the call lights, attending to the patient's needs, and then get report. The director of nurses walked by and commented that it was good the staff was getting to the call lights. He then continued down the hall to the room where the administrator of the hospital was recovering from surgery. Just as the staff was returning to the nurses' station, the director of nurses was heading up the hall looking angry. The only light not answered was from the administrator's room. It had been assumed it was a mistake since everyone knew the director was there, and it was not the emergency light. As I was in charge that day, the director was reprimanding me at the nurses' station. That call light has been on, and I was watching the IV run dry. The night nurse had the IV ready, and she headed down to that room to change it. You watched an IV run dry. Yes, I watched it run dry, and the call light was on. You really mean to tell me that you watched an IV run dry? Yes, I watched it run dry. Once he raised his voice with more than a dozen pair of eyes on him, he realized that he was terribly wrong to watch an IV run dry. He had the knowledge and skills to change that IV, and he knew that most of the call lights had been on and we were answering them. Never mind, and he left the unit. He had brought it up later to me, and he said, once I thought about it, I couldn't believe I watched an IV run dry and was giving you a hard time about it. We all make mistakes, missteps, and have flaws. Second aha moment was an argument between a nurse on a different unit and a nurse's aide who worked on the unit I managed. The nurse informed me that she had written a disciplinary action on the aide and expected me to back her up. I assured her that we would all talk before we left for the day. I met with the union rep and the aide first. The goal was to have the nurse see her part in the argument and willingly tear up the discipline form. I asked them to allow the nurse to speak first and say everything she wanted to say, even if they didn't agree with what she was saying. Then the aide would explain her side of the encounter. Then the union rep would add comments as needed. The outcome was the nurse realizing that she had not treated the aide with courtesy as she should have. Both realized their individual parts in the argument and agreed that they could handle it better in the future. The nurse asked if it was okay to destroy the write-up, which the union rep agreed would be acceptable. Both the nurse and the aide parted amicably, and there was never another argument. The aide made it known to her fellow team members that she and the nurse had the opportunity to resolve their problem without either being written up. We all make mistakes, missteps, and have flaws. The third aha moment dealt with evaluations and, again, discipline. There are a lot of checks and balances in healthcare to minimize and eliminate errors. My concern was the emphasis placed on disciplinary measures, write-ups. As I progressed in my career, I would receive more guidance from the powers that be on disciplinary measures. So many write-ups, then suspension or termination. The process was clearly outlined. Teamwork is extremely important, and it needs to occur whether a staff person is liked or not. What matters most is the care for the patients. The best instructors I had in nursing school chose to work with me on how I could improve, avoid errors, understand the policies and procedures, and more. I learned the most from those proactive instructors. My choice as a supervisor was to do the same. I took out the necessary form and checked other and noted the purpose was education. The staff member and I discussed what the problem was, what she or he understood about it, and how to prevent it from happening again. There was always a follow-up scheduled, weekly to once a quarter. Staff need to feel like their service is valued. Once a year on an annual evaluation isn't enough. All make mistakes, mishaps, and have flaws. Wanting to do our best every day, creating an environment of trust and respect, so needed for any organization to succeed. The reason I decided to talk about these aha moments was from listening to a short by Simon Sinek. It's called Love Your Job. There's a link if you care to watch it. I hope you live in an environment of trust and respect where you can ask for help, where you thrive, whether it's at your job, in your network marketing business, and especially in your home life. I'm so glad you popped in on this channel. I'm Jo Smith, encouraging you to think about things differently and decide what you want out of life, who you want to be, cheering you on for the life you deserve to create. Go for it and don't let anyone or anything stop you.